Well, it's such a joy to be here. If you're in the room today, you did not come to this life to moan and groan over the terrible things that are happening all over the world. To quote author Clarissa Pinkolas Estes, we were made for these times. Even though we're still human, we can rise above ourselves because we came to contribute to the healing of the planet and the advancement of human evolution. Okay, that's my introduction. This feels weird. I don't know. Hello?
We can hear you well. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I believe we're in the middle of a huge paradigm shift happening throughout the whole planet. A paradigm shift is a fundamental change in the basic concepts and experimental practices of a scientific discipline or a society. It's a situation in which the usual and accepted ways of doing things or thinking about something changes completely. Paradigms are important because they define how we perceive reality. A paradigm is a typical example or pattern of something, a model. It's a system that tells us how to behave or think or believe about the world around us. Estes went on to write, ours is a time of almost daily astonishment and often righteous rage over the latest degradations of what matters most to civilized visionary people. The luster and hubris some have aspired to while endorsing acts so heinous against children, elders, everyday people, the poor, the unguarded, the helpless, is breathtaking. She goes on to say, yet I urge you to please not spin your spirit dry by bewailing these difficult times. Especially do not lose hope. Most particularly because the fact is that we were made for these times. For years, we've been learning, practicing, we've been in training for and just waiting to meet on this exact plane of existence. Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another, to assist some portion of this poor suffering world, will help immensely. We won't know by which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward an enduring good. What is needed for dramatic change is an accumulation of acts, adding more, continuing. It won't take everyone on earth to bring peace and justice, but only a small, determined group who will not give up. That makes me remember Gandhi and his system that he called satyagraha. It comes from the Sanskrit, and it's a particular term, a form of non-violent resistance or civil resistance. The term satyagraha Gandhi deployed it in, as you know, the independence movement in India. And this philosophy or this concept influenced Martin Luther King Jr.'s campaigns during the Civil Rights Movement in the United States. And we were there, we remember, don't we? But you don't have to be a great leader like Gandhi or King to affect the paradigm. They couldn't have been successful by themselves. Millions of people like you and me, chose to share the dreams and act on them. Is it naive to believe that we can change the world just by small acts of love and kindness? I don't think so. Albert Schweitzer said that in everyone's life at some time, our inner fire goes out. It is then burst into flame by an encounter with another human being. We should all be thankful for those people who rekindle the inner spirit. Offering a helping hand or a comforting hug can reignite that fire in someone who's suffering. Just saying hi to somebody on the street and smiling can keep them from committing suicide that day. And we think, well, that's kind of naive. No, it's not. Offering a helping hand is the most powerful thing. If you wish to heal your own sadness or anger, seek to help the sadness or anger of others too. They're looking to you for guidance, for help, for courage, for strength, for understanding, and for assurance. Remind yourself that we're all in this together. That ought to be the rallying cry of these years. We're all in this together. That moment of love and compassion will contribute to the huge paradigm shift that is happening. And we're on the cusp of that shift, like the crest of an ocean wave. You know, when we're moving toward the shore, and we're adding all the little acts of kindness, like waters or whatever, you know, moving toward the shore. And when that wave hits the ground, the whole planet will be affected. Now, even though we're still human, okay, we can rise above ourselves and move into a higher sense of consciousness. Every step we take moves us closer to the full expression of the powerful spiritual beings we are. Every step we take moves us closer to the full expression of who we really are. My theory is that if birds can evolve from dinosaurs, we can evolve into the higher expression of life too, especially in the area of spiritual understanding. Think about it. Think about those dinosaurs. Remember that what we've read about how huge they were, you know, like they'd fill a room like this, one of them, you know. And they figured out how to change and evolve and change until they can fly. Humans are continuing to evolve, but now the evolution is driven as much by our culture and the technology we've invented as by our biology. But this is an advantage, because our technology is able to show us in ways that we were never able to see before what needs healing. If you've watched the news lately, you know what I'm saying. I found this, I just love it. The Rosicrucian view of the world is that it's a training school. Well, being a high school English teacher for 32 years, for which I'm going to heaven, posits that while mistakes are made in the human, in life, humans often learn more from mistakes than successes. Is considered as merely the result of error. Humans are seen as spirits attending the school of life for the purpose of unfolding latent spiritual power, developing themselves from impotence to omnipotence, reaching the stage of ascended masters at the end of mankind's present evolution. Okay, yeah, you can see yourself. daughter, and she's holding something that was caught by the camera, and it's just this little light, and she's holding it there. And so I've titled it Ascended Master. This is so cool. Anyway, let me see. Tanya Dawson talks about this movement toward what he calls the Omega point. According to Tanya, evolution does not cease here, but continues on to its culmination and unification in the Omega point, which he calls the Christ. Well, that's fancy language and everything, but we're headed somewhere, In New Age or metaphysical thought, a common theme is the evolution or the transcendence of the human or collective planetary consciousness to a higher state or higher vibratory level. Remember Jonathan Livingston Seagull? And remember the Celestine Prophecy? If you haven't read that, it's by James Redfield. And he suggested that through experiencing a series of personal spiritual insights, humanity is becoming more and more aware of the connection between our evolution and the divine. More recently in his book, God and the Existing Universe, The Next Step in Personal Evolution, which I ordered online just last week and ought to come pretty soon, and co-written by Michael Murray, Redfield claims that humanity is on the verge of undergoing a change in consciousness. Not just you and me, but everybody. The book unites personal and planetary evolution in order to explain how each act of individual improvement or enhanced human capacity is part of a new evolutionary scheme. In other words, we have no idea where we're headed, but it's so incredible and beautiful. There's no words for it. But I want to go, I want to see what happens. The question becomes, how can I best contribute to this changing time? Just because we're not ascended masters doesn't mean we can't contribute. I think the answer is to continue on toward our individual healing of consciousness. We're still human. We still make mistakes. And there are two ways to look at that. We can beat ourselves up about those mistakes, or we can learn the lessons and move on. New Thought tells us to think positive, but we don't always think positive. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel guilty because I can't think positively. Instead of judging by appearances, we can practice seeing ourselves and others as physical beings, learning how to express our true selves, which are spiritual beings with unlimited creative power. And I found this in the Bible, and it's just so wonderful. The Bible has it all. It really does. It's just figuring out what it means. But in John chapter 5, verse 1 through 9, the story is recorded that in the city of Jerusalem there was a pool called Bethesda. Here a great number of people used to lie: the lame, the paralyzed. These are mentioned most because being the least able to help themselves, they would be the closest and wait the longest at the pool. At a specific season, an angel came and troubled the waters, thereby stirring it to release all of its miraculous healing power, so that many were healed. There was, however, a particular man who had been an invalid for 38 years. The Bible says when Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in that condition for that great length of time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool where the water is stirred. While I'm trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your bed and walk." And so the guy did. The journey of life is not going to be easy. Many of us in this room today and can attest to that. Many of us have gone through hell and back. Everyone here knows what the dark night of the soul means. But we showed up here today and we're still walking. There are potholes, speed bumps, mountains, hurdles we've gotten over, valleys we've gone through, and detours we've had to take. But the dark night of the soul has not defeated us. We have not stopped walking. That's why we're here in this room today. The call to action means having faith and trusting in God and getting rid of every dead weight and our hindrances that are besetting us and preventing us from walking and embracing God's gifts and callings for us. And here's the crux of it. That dead weight has been our angers, fears, self-condemnations, and hatreds. It's any belief about yourself that you still hold on to that tells you anything negative about yourself. Remind yourself every day that you're still human and you still have a lot to learn. You're not an ascended master yet, nor am I, but let's give ourselves a break. I believe that there will come a day when we realize that we have freed ourselves of the bonds of fear and hate, and that our ailing earth has healed herself. On that day, we will realize we have made a huge paradigm shift in our evolution, and that we are closer than ever to fully expressing the beings we were meant to be. Those of us in this room now will probably not be here to experience that day, but we can know that we did our part in bringing it about. Last week I attended the Peace Vigil held at Holy Cross Retreat Center. There were representatives of Buddhism, Catholicism, New Thought, Judaism, and Native American. We were all given candles which we lighted and held throughout the service. There were musicians who sang of peace, including one lady who sang Imagine by John Lennon, along which many of us sang. It was in many ways reminiscent of the movements of the 60s, which helped change so much of the world, and which so many of us right now were there. John Lennon wrote, "Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living in peace. You might say, I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one." He kind of said it all right there, didn't he? I don't believe this is a pie-in-the-sky idea. I believe it's what we're made for. To realize the beautiful creative beings we really are. And to create the world we're made for. And I believe the current enormous changes in the world right now are moving us closer to it. Let's keep walking. Let's do our part. And I'll close with one of my favorite passages by James Freeman, the poet laureate of Unity. And the world comes tumbling down. I hope that I shall hear across the tumult of the falling stars some Roland of that unimagined age, blowing his deathless horn at Roncesvalles, blowing his defiance of all that is less than it might have been, blowing his faith that the good will triumph. iPad Hazel. Thank you, Reverend Pat. That was beautiful. I think we were all touched and we are all ready to do our part. And now I'd like to ask you all to get comfortable, kind of wiggle a little bit into your chairs, whatever you got to do to get comfy. Take your glasses off if you want to, whatever you got to do. We're going to do a compassion and heart visualization meditation. So let's begin by relaxing, taking a nice deep breath. Relax, recognize, and release. And allow your attention to move gently in your chest. Feel it move. The breath in and through your chest. Breathe in the healing breath of the divine, of God's loving breath. Breathe in. Relax, recognize, and release. Let go. Let go of it all. Cares, concerns, stress, tension. Breathe in and relax. Relax here. Picture, feel, and sense the love and compassion of the universe, of God, the divine healer and source of all love. Breathe in. Breathe out and become aware of the beating of your heart. Relax, recognize, release, and allow your beautiful heart. Surround your heart with compassion. Sense the feeling. Your heart has come a long way. It's left behind hurts and opened and reopened your heart to love. Open you to love. What a beautiful, caring, compassionate heart. What a beautiful, caring, compassionate you. Feel the divine healing love here in your heart. With each heartbeat, allow your compassion to grow. Feel the rhythm. Visualize the energy now growing. Relax, recognize, release, and allow. What a beautiful heart, filled with love, a love which grows even more in response to your dear attention. A healing heart, sending love to every part of your being, like waves of loving, healing light, washing over you. Feel, see, hear the healing light. Feel this healing light. Hear the healing light as it washes over you. Knowing the divine light of love and compassion heals. You feel this love washing over your feet. What beautiful feet. What compassion you feel for your feet, which have stood for you, walked with you, and rested with you. Now with your mind's eye, follow the healing light up your legs. Dwell in this loving, compassionate healing where you may, in your ankles, your legs, your knees, your hips, wherever you need a little dwelling of the
to dwell there, healing it, loving it, allowing the love and the healing to take its place. As we now relax, recognize and release anything that might be blocking the healing, let it go. We let go. And allow the light of this love to move up your spine, into your shoulders too, into your shoulders, releasing those responsibilities that do not belong to you. Feel them relaxing, these shoulders. Let your shoulders relax as you let go of those things that do not belong to you. And rest your awareness of the energy as it moves. Now, down your arms and into your hands. Feel your compassion for love and for yourself in these areas. With each beat of your heart and rhythm of your breaths, imagine your tingling hands sending this light, this loving healing into your lower torso. Feel it now moving into your upper torso, healing everything. So very grateful for God's compassionate, perfect healing. Again now to your chest. Breathe, relax, recognize, release, and allow. Allow healing with each beat of your heart. Know the love and compassion in your heart grows. Feel this loving light now move into your throat. Relax, recognize, release, and allow. Notice how it moves gently around your neck, your face, through and around your head. So now we're feeling the beautiful, loving energy now, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head and everywhere in between. Relax, recognize, release, and allow your mind to still. Surrounded by and filled with God's infinite love and compassion, allow that which is within to grow. Grow and expand to fill the room, surround the city, country, and world. With the beat of our collective hearts everywhere, we share our God-given love and compassion with this world. Relax, recognize, release, and allow. All is well. All is well here now. All this allowing, we now allow this knowing to grow. Allow your compassionate consciousness to be and grow and bring it back with you now. Bring it back. Bring it back. All is well. All is well with you and your world, right here, now. Divine order is now manifest and healing every aspect of your life and being. Gratitude for your healing fills your wakeful being now. And we feel this healing, loving energy here now in the seats that you sit in and as we come back. Feel the hands and feel the feet. And know that all is well. And open your eyes when you're ready.